Hi guys, and welcome to my mental health awareness video. As you might know, I've been dropping a few teasers just to encourage you guys to watch this video. Before we start, I just want to say I'm not a qualified mental health advisor, I'm not a qualified psychiatrist, and in no way, shape or form am I telling you how to live your life or how to deal with things. I am just sharing my experiences and hopefully educating people on just a little bit more to do with mental health and how it affects people. So yeah, let's go. So one of the main topics that I really want to kind of hot down on is just something that I kind of deal with myself. Obviously I'm not going to go into detail about other elements of mental health issues that don't personally affect me, because A, I might not understand them very well, and B, it's just not really something that I feel like I'm in a position or on a platform in which I should discuss with you guys if I'm not able to offer you anything. So one of the big things that I kind of want to touch on is anxiety. I myself have suffered with anxiety throughout my whole life, but I've never really sort of known about it, if that makes sense. It's been kind of hidden. I've kind of dealt with it and just kind of thought I was maybe like a weird child, or I don't know, just a bit different. I just always thought it was a bit different. As I still do it now, to be honest. I've just noticed it a bit more because it's kind of heightened and people have educated me. They've kind of made me know what to look out for, how to deal with it, and kind of made me accept that things that I do are normal. And it doesn't define me as a person. It doesn't make me feel any less of a person for doing these things. It just helps me identify it and help me live like a comfortable lifestyle without actually worrying about what I'm doing, because I know it's normal. So one of the really big things I do is I constantly check things. So I'll leave the house and I'll panic and I'll start itching and gritting my body a little bit, and I'll think, oh god, I've left my straighteners on, I'm going to burn the house down, I need to go back and check my straighteners, and I'll go back and my straighteners will be off. Funny story, I actually set a house on fire once, well, just my kitchen, because I left the toaster on. That might be why. But yeah, so I constantly check things. So I leave the house and I worry. I'm just like, okay, I haven't got my phone, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, I need to make sure that that's off, I need to make sure that all the switches are off. I'm going to go back and check it. That is a form of anxiety, so that actually makes me feel uneasy, that makes me worry, it makes me stressed. And to overcome that, I just kind of relax. I just think, okay, I'm going to go check it, I'm going to go see if it's all done, so at least I'm satisfied. But I don't overwhelm myself with it anymore. I don't panic, I don't stress, and I used to actually get really upset, so I don't actually do that anymore. One of the other things that is a really sort of like big thing to me, I've always had this like crazy desire to be liked. I still panic with it now. When I know that people don't like me, it worries me, it makes me feel horrible, I don't understand it. I pride myself on being such a kind person that I'm just, why don't you like me? And then I will do everything in my power to make this person like me. I follow a really amazing person on social media, actually on Instagram, called Sinead Hegarty, and she is just sensational. She's really helped me overcome certain problems that I do have with myself, and with myself being liked or disliked, like a people pleasing thing. I'll never tell someone what they want to hear, if I'd never lie to them. But I will sugarcoat everything to ensure that they don't fall out of me or they don't dislike me. And when I find out that people don't like me, I hate it. It really cuts me up. I'm kind of a bit emotional. It really breaks my heart, because I think, why? Like, what have I done to make you dislike me this much? Like, why do you dislike me? What is it? How can I change it? And it's still something that kind of bothers me now. Maybe like it does hurt me. My boyfriend talks to me about it all the time, and he's like, there is like 7 billion people on this planet, not everyone's gonna like you. And I'm just like, I will make them. I will make them like me. But he's so right, he's so true. And it's one of them. Some people genuinely don't have a reason. It might be just that you have something that they don't, or they're so upset with their own life that looking upon yours makes them feel inadequate. Or it's not even like that. Like, some people's personalities just don't mix. Like, me and my sister probably wouldn't be friends if we weren't related. We're nothing alike, we're absolutely nothing alike. And I think it comes with time and with acceptance and acknowledging these sort of different parts of your personality, that you actually learn to deal with it and you learn to overcome it. So I am slowly working on like my acceptance for people disliking me. I read a really amazing book that I will 100% recommend for people to have a look at, and it's called The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz, I believe, something, Don Miguel Ruiz. And it's a really powerful book, and it just basically says, like, one of the agreements is to not take things to heart. Like, someone's opinion of you is always going to be a reflection of themselves. It's never ever going to be something that you've personally done, or, well, it could be, but it's not going to be, if you can't find a reason, there never necessarily is one. So it might just be that they just genuinely don't like you, or they just don't like your personality, and that is okay. That is totally okay. But to wear your heart on your sleeve in that aspect can sometimes cause yourself unnecessary harm, and that's what I tend to do. I tend to punish myself for people disliking me, and it's not the way to go forward. It really isn't. So that's another part of anxiety that's maybe like really affected me personally, like really affected me, like to the point where I kind of changed my behaviour and I adapt to different scenarios and different people's personalities, and that's not the way to go. It's not, it really isn't. So I just want to like hit these things on the head, just so people know that it is normal to feel this way. It doesn't mean that you're any different to anyone else, and it's okay to be disliked. You can't please everybody. Not everyone in your life that you meet is going to have the same personality as you, and that is okay. It's totally acceptable. One of the other things that I did want to kind of like go on to is a big thing now, and it is image. So as a child, I have always had really bad eczema. Oh, this is quite deep stuff. I've always had really bad eczema, so I used to be wrapped up in bandages from head to toe as a child, so I used to get really badly picked on for it. And my hair was a little bit ginger and I hated it, which I don't know, because I quite like the colour now. But anyway, so yeah, so I always had this image in my head that I wanted to be this Barbie doll, this bleach blonde Barbie doll that everyone loved and everyone liked and everyone wanted to be a friend, and that was just always my need, because no one wanted to be friends with me when I was little, because I was the, like, I used to get called the mummy child and stuff because I was wrapped up in bandages. It's like, kids are horrible, but things like that do affect you as you get older. So as I got older, I always had this sort of like image problem where I'm just like, I need to still be this person. I need to be this person. It's not, and it really ate away at me to the point where I actually had a boob job because I hated the way I looked, and I hated it so much. And was that for me, or was that for other people to stop saying things about the way I looked? Like, you never actually know, and I don't think I will ever know whether it, like, I'm comfortable now and I'm glad I did it. It's a really, like, it really did change my confidence, and I did it for me and not for anyone else. But when like, now I think that, but at the time, did I do it so that people would stop mentioning my chest? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a really weird situation, really weird situation. But the one thing that I can take from that is to always advise someone, if you are doing something for your own self-satisfaction and to make you feel good about yourself, then you can do whatever the hell you want. Like, it's your body, your entitlement, you can do it completely, 100%, all yours. However, do not do it just to benefit someone else and to get people to stop saying things about you. You need to learn to accept yourself the way you are, in the sense that we are so beautiful, and we were put on this earth to make it a better place, and to have people around you that don't make it a good place for you, you need to just get rid of them. You need to just ignore them and get them out of your life. It's so much negativity that we do not need. And like I said, learning it firsthand myself by changing the way I look just to please other people. Obviously it's okay for me now, like I like it. But at the time I should never have done it. I should have just done it for me, and I should have thought of the reasons as to why I'd do it for me. And at the time I just thought, I want people to stop saying I've got small breasts. So I don't know, it's a weird one, really. It's a weird one, but yeah, it's definitely something that bothered me for a really long time, and like, my appearance made me very anxious, and I just constantly thought that people were saying things about me, and constantly thinking that I can't go out without looking decent, else people are going to say mean things about me. I was constantly on edge, and it ate away at me to the point where I just didn't live my life, and I didn't enjoy being out and doing things, and it's not okay. It's not the way to go. So that's my disclosure. That's a couple of things I just wanted to discuss with you guys and just kind of let it out in the open. You know, we're being honest today. And one of the other elements that I did really want to speak to you about was my go into with change anxiety. So I don't know whether people know about this or whether people have actually researched this, but it's quite a common thing to have anxiety within change. So I'm a very emotional person, so if I'm happy, I am extremely happy, and I will be the most annoying person you will ever meet, because I just won't stop being so happy, and I just am. I just love life. Like, I'm so positive like 90% of the time. But when I'm angry, I'm horrible to be around. I can't control my anger. I get so upset and angry that I just can't physically cope, and it hurts my entire body. And again, I also, that would be my dog. Again, I also feel really emotional, so the shower could go cold at me and it'll tip me over the edge and I'll start crying. I am so emotional that I physically can't control it sometimes. It really hurts my body. I get stomach aches. That would be Darcy. I get stomach aches. I can't really cope with it, to be honest. Do you want to come in the video? Hey? But yeah, it's something that I am learning to deal with. Say it is something that I'm learning to deal with. But yeah, so the biggest sort of issue for me was maybe going to uni. I went to uni, I had the best time, I met the best people, but within the first month I really struggled. Well, after the first month actually, I just kind of couldn't adapt to my new lifestyle. It really scared me. Like, I'd been through a horrific ordeal just less than a year probably before I went to uni, so my whole lifestyle changing really scared me. It constantly gave me like heart palpitations, and I didn't understand change anxiety at this point. So I used to have really bad heart palpitations, I used to get really scared, I couldn't cope, I used to feel sick. I don't know, it was just really, I just really struggled to adapt, and then I need people to kind of just explain to me and like I need a bit of reassurance, like, it's okay, this is normal, like, we're gonna, how do you want to deal with it? I mean, should we go back home for a bit? Do you want to go see your mom? Should we get a bit of like normality back? And then I kind of like weaned myself back into a new lifestyle, and then it just calmed down and I was okay. But the same happened again when I came home from uni. I'd lived away for 3 years, do my own thing, very independent, living with some of the best people that are still my best friends now. And I couldn't deal with coming back home. I felt like I'd gone like 10 steps backwards. I really did. It kind of really, I don't know, it really scared me and really made me feel really uncomfortable. Sorry, told you I'm emotional. But this level of change anxiety kind of put me into a rut where I didn't want to leave my house. I needed like a comfort blanket. I just didn't want to go anywhere. I wasn't going to the gym. I didn't join rugby as soon as I wanted to. I just physically couldn't cope with the change in my lifestyle, to the point where I literally bit all my nails really short and just couldn't. It's like I always put it down to my asthma, but my heart palpitations made me so bad I just couldn't breathe. And all these things that I'm telling you aren't things I actually do talk about to people. It's just, I do want to make people aware that this is so normal and it happens with so many people's lives, and the way we can help people develop is to learn about it, and is to discuss it, and is to talk about it with each other. It's the only way we're ever going to encourage each other to grow and to learn, and to know that we're not alone. Like, I knew that there was people that suffered with these things, but I didn't think that was me up until I identified certain aspects of my life that related to these points, like just general fear, and like fear of rejection, fear of neglect, like loads of things. It was just, anxiety is such like a massive ball of personality traits, maybe, in a way. Is that the right way to describe it? Just personality traits that really do define you as a person, and it does not make you any less of a person to have these things, because so many people suffer with at least one element of anxiety, be it change, be it social. Like fear of death is a form of anxiety, and you can't look at me and say that you haven't been scared to die. Like, there's loads of things, so many different things. And the best part about this day, about being Mental Health Awareness Day, is that we can discuss elements of our personality and discuss our current position and how we feel. We can also discuss things that we've had to like endure ourselves, and hopefully educate one another to ensure that people aren't alone. Like, it's so hard to see your friends, and myself knowing firsthand that some of my friends really struggle with anxiety and depression, and I'm hoping that this day will help me learn about it a little bit more, learn about depression, learn about what the best ways to understand it is, because I don't understand it. I've only been
succumb to it such a small amount of times, in people that are really close to me. And even then I'm so overwhelmed that I just don't know what to do. I'm so scared, and I'm slowly learning how to handle certain situations that I'm put in when other people have mental health issues, whether to give them the support, whether to take a step back, what advice they need, whether I'm in the right position to give that advice. There's loads of things that I'm learning, which is really good. There's a lot of ways in which I deal personally with my anxiety, which I don't like to label it and say I have anxiety, but I know that I have these traits, I know that I have these issues, and I am dealing with them, as we all are. We're all in a battle every single day with certain elements of our life that we struggle with, especially given the pandemic that we're currently in. It is hard, it is super hard, but there is ways that you can overcome it. So personally, I find that the gym makes me feel better. I go to the gym, which takes a lot. Like every time I go to the gym, it takes me, like, I get panicky, I go in and I'm like, oh, so I just put my headphones on, plan my workout, which I will always encourage people to do. Always plan your workout. I'll plan my workout, I'll get it done, and I'll feel so much better after. And it's releasing endorphins, and anything that was previously bothering me, whether it be stress at work, which I can't cope with sometimes, whether it be stress at work, whether it be family troubles, whether it be something that's completely at the back of my mind, the gym does help. The gym does make me feel better. It's like sport. I struggled getting back into rugby after this pandemic. I also struggled not long ago when I was in a job that I really hated. Rugby was my escape, but I neglected it, but it was the one thing that I really needed. So I'll always encourage people, there is always something that can help you. There is always something that can help you. You've just got to be able to open yourself up and allow this thing to like kind of help you through it. Like, don't let it completely absorb you, and by not letting it absorb you, you will then find alternative ways to live a healthier lifestyle. So yeah, one of the things I'll always say is sport and fitness is so good for your mental health. It is such a release, and if you're not into it, go out in the wilderness, go out in the wilderness, go out in nature, go for a walk, go and embrace a bit of fresh air. Like, there's so many ways in which you can help yourself. Alongside that, I love travelling. I love going and experiencing new cultures and going to different countries, and I've not been able to do that this year. That is something that's really bothered me, really affected me, because that's my escape. So maybe that's another thing that we can look into, is could experiencing a new lifestyle help you? Like, you'd think it's a bit weird considering I've got a bit of change anxiety that I do like. I think it's just nice to experience that for such a short amount of time and then go back to my normality. But yeah, like, that's a good way of dealing with it. Another thing that I will always advise is reading, educating yourself on how you're feeling and how to overcome these feelings that you're having. Some books that I've read, I will 100% advise you to read. So like I said, The 4 Agreements is an amazing book. The Secret has some really good paraphrases in it that could change your life. And one of the biggest books that has made the biggest impact on my life is, again, what Sinead recommended, and it is The Power of Now. And it's kind of encouraged me to not take things and get overwhelmed by them, by any form of anxiety that I suffer. It's made me feel good. It makes me feel like I need to live in the moment and embrace every opportunity that I get, regardless of it be just even socializing or going to the gym, or just the ability to be able to do these things is so amazing that I think we sometimes take it for granted. So 100% read The Power of Now, 100%. So this brings me to the final part of this video. As you all know, that I am a My Protein affiliate, and this video is for My Protein. I actually spoke to my influencer coordinator, I believe, Josie, and I said, look, I'd love to get involved in the campaign for mental health. There is a couple of things that I do want to be honest with my followers. I want to speak to them about things and get them to know me as a person, as opposed to just seeing what I'll post, because everyone knows that everything that you see on Instagram, majority of it is just what we want you to see, regardless of whether it be good or bad. And like I said, I want to be I want to be brutally honest with all of the people that kind of follow me and do pay attention to my page, which is why I've had done this video and discussed all my points with you in the hope that it'll help benefit you. So one of the other things this brings me to is My Protein are currently selling some shakers. So these caught it. So this is the shaker. So if you can see, it's going to focus on my face. Cute. But the best part about it is £2.50 of every shaker is being donated to a mental health charity. Don't know about you, but whenever I see that companies are doing stuff like that, it really warms me. Because there's so many massive brands that don't ever take part in things that benefit their consumers at all. So this really meant a lot to me, which is why I wanted to be I was so keen to be a part of the campaign. So yeah, so my program are actually donating £100,000 to a variety of different mental health charities. Like, with it being that 1 in 4 of us do suffer mental health issues, it is a very, 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 that's probably the biggest global pandemic right now, if you ask me. So yeah, if you go on their page, have a look, keep your eye out on Instagram just to hear some other people's stories. Go and see what My Protein are doing for mental health at the moment, just to kind of raise awareness, donate support, just to help people as much as possible. And you will understand why I love this brand so much. It's amazing. It's a beautiful community. So yeah, I do really appreciate you guys sitting through probably about, like, when I've edited it, probably about 15-20 minutes of me rambling on and just kind of like spilling the tea on my life. But I do appreciate it, I really do, and I hope that if you've taken at least one thing from this video and it's helped you, then that makes me feel amazing. And I'd love to know what you've taken, what you've benefited from, and if you ever need advice or you want to talk to me about something that I've disclosed in this video, please do, like, just message me. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm happy to talk about it. Obviously, this is the first time I've ever opened up about certain situations that have happened in my life or how I deal with things, and again, like I said, my struggle with mental health. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Check out My Protein, just to see what they're up to, what they're doing, and you'll understand a bit more about the current campaign. And yeah, so thank you, and thank you for following me, thank you for following my journey, thank you for always supporting me, and I hope that I haven't put any triggers in this video. Okay, thank you.